Hello, hello, hello. Hi, guys. It's Alexandra Harbushka here. Welcome to today's live. I am the founder of lifewithherpes.com. It's a blog, it's a YouTube channel, it is a podcast, and most importantly, it's an online community for people just like you and just like me who are living with herpes. So welcome to today. I am a little late getting started, so I do apologize with that, but I'm pretty excited right now. I have a selfie stick. High 2012 with the selfie stick thing. Hey there, thanks for saying hi. Hey. Yeah, okay, so glad that you're asking these questions. Okay, so let me get started. And you'll see some people teeing off behind me, so you can be entertained by that. We can judge them. Okay, so we just got a question popping up. Does herpes cause itching? And yes, I'm actually super glad that you asked that because I have my little list here of questions and that was the first one on there. So does herpes cause itching? Yes, it can. It absolutely can. So look at it as you haven't opened any type, like you get a paper cut, you scrape your knee, whatever it is. You get an owie, and does the itch mean an outbreak? Okay, so let me answer that. Hi. Great, I'm so glad. I've been in San Diego and it's been hard for me to get this in. So I'm glad, yay, I'm here. Okay, so think of an itch in general, right? Like you have an owie on your knee when you fall and you get a scab, and then as the scab kind of starts to itch, then so that could be something like that. So when you have a blister on, whether it's your mouth or your genital region, it can start to itch because you're like, I want to get this, it's healing. Your skin's winding back together and healing. So that's one thing. So yes, it can itch during the healing process. Now your question just now that you typed in the chat box is an itch the start of an outbreak? So everybody has a little bit different signs, symptoms of an outbreak. For some people, yes, an itch is an example. For some people, it's a hot spot. For some people, it's a fever. Maybe you get a fever, swollen lymph nodes. So for me personally, I don't get an itch, but I get like a tingle or a hot spot. Just like I said, like it hurts to touch kind of thing. As far as itching, I don't really get the itching unless it's the healing process of a blister. I don't know if that is what you have, but yeah, I don't get the itching up front. But one of the things, so one of the questions that I had here, someone saying she's been itching for 3 weeks. She did 5 days of Valtrex. She also took some stuff for BV, which is bacterial vaginitis, which is completely different than herpes, but you get run down, you kind of get them all type of thing. And her sores are internal, not external, meaning they're on the cervix or inside the vaginal canal. So it's not like she can see them and itching, but I guess she just has so much itching. So she is having a really hard time with that. So what I would personally recommend is taking an Epsom salt bath to help the itching. It soothes. I know for me personally, when I take an Epsom salt bath, that's hard for me to say, Epsom salt, it just soothes. It also dries up. It kind of just, it soothes everything. So I would recommend that. Kind of let it flow in and out of your vaginal canal, and just hopefully that would help. Another thing that I really like to use for itching or healing and things like that is any type of, not any type, but essential oils. So things that would be antiseptic, antibacterial, healing properties. When do the sores start to come back? Okay, I'll answer that one. So I would just do some like lavender oil or some tea tree oil. That would really help dry it up and just help with itching. I know it's a tough one. So when do the sores start to come back? The sores are going to come back whenever your immune system's low. So if you are about to have another outbreak, then that's when your sores will come back. For everybody, it's totally different. It could be one after the other, after the other, after the other. It could be once a year. It could be once a month. It could be once every 5 years. Think of it similar to a cold, really similar to a cold. How often do you get a cold? Is it always around the holidays because you're stressed? Do you get a cold a couple times? Do you get a cold a couple times a year? And so, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's super up to your immune system and how strong your immune system is. I, for example, have HSV1 and HSV2, so I have HSV1 orally. I've had 2 outbreaks. They were 14 years apart. So as you can see, that doesn't really affect my life really at all. 14 years apart, no big deal. But then, genital herpes, I have had them back to back to back to back. I've gone years without them. It just really depends on my immune system and how I'm treating my body. So for you, it's just a matter of looking at, are you on a daily suppressant? Are you taking a daily antiviral? Are you not? What's your lifestyle like? Things like that would really play a role in how often the sores will pop up. Okay, I'm glad. I love all these questions, guys. Thanks for asking them. Oh, that's so funny. Like, you're asking all my questions that are on here. Just got an outbreak. How long before it goes away? So this one's asking how long before it goes away. You asked, okay, it's gone. When does it pop up again? So how long before the sores go away? Okay, again, that's totally up to you and your immune system and when you catch it. So if you know you're getting an outbreak, similar, let's just use the cold as an example. How many of us have gotten a cold, like we've woken up and we're like, ooh, yeah, I can feel it. Ooh, I think a cold's coming on. You know what? Let me amp up my vitamins. Let me, get a little juice, antioxidants in there. Let me take it easy. Let me cancel my workout and let me cancel my plans tonight and I'll sleep it off, right? And how many of us have woken up and gone, ooh, I think I'm getting a cold. Oh, I don't have time to be sick. I gotta go, and I have plans. I have to go to these things. I have a happy hour. I have to go to whatever it is, and then you wake up the next day and you're like out, right? Guilty. We've all done it. Very similar to a herpes outbreak. So if you are able to wake up and catch it, and you're like, ooh, okay, this is what's going on, and you can nip it in the bud, then maybe you won't even get the outbreak, right? Maybe you'll just be a little cautious for a couple days and nip it in the bud. If you don't nip it in the bud and, keep pushing your body, keep doing all those things, it can take anywhere from a couple days to 2 weeks, which we don't want. We don't want the 2 weeks. That's not something we want. Can you guys see me? Is the light okay? I feel really funny with my little selfie stick. So some of the things that you can do if you've just if you're like, this is an outbreak, it's totally an outbreak, I know it's an outbreak. If you take the antiviral during an outbreak, then take it. Don't wait until, let me see. No, just take it. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to harm you. Go on ahead and take it. Also, some other things I'd like to recommend are back to the Epsom salt baths, back to the essential oils. Also look at your diet. What are you putting in your body? Are you going to go do the super hard workout, triathlete, style workout and push your body? Again, treat it like a cold, treat it like the flu, be kind, be gentle, relax. So take care of yourself. And then, just like a cold can last 2 weeks, a cold could last 2 days. That's a loaded question. So I would say, wait until you're ready. Wait until you sleep with this person. If it's somebody that you're just going on a date with and having coffee or ice cream or a walk or going to the beach or hanging out or yoga or whatever it is, there's no need to disclose. The only reason why I would enforce the disclosure is, are you going to sleep with them? And if you're going to expose them and sleep with them, then absolutely you need to tell them as soon as possible. But if you're not gonna expose them or do anything like that, and you're just having coffee or a hike or a bike ride or whatever it is, then there is no need to disclose to them. Really funny, you guys, my dog is like sitting at the door wanting to come out, but last time I had her out here during this, she was like super hot and like over it and wanted to go in. Now she wants to come out. Just total side note, I'm like staring at her right here. Anyways, okay. The next thing is my boyfriend of a year, I think, gave me herpes. I've been monogamous. I didn't have herpes before. I had the STD test. How do I tell him? Is it him that gave it to me? Okay. So sorry that you're going through this. I know when it's that phase of like, do I have it? Do I not have it? Who gave it to me? Where did I, all those questions that kind of download in front of you, like where did it come from? And especially if you've been in a monogamous relationship for a year, what's going on? Is it possible that it could have been dormant in your system for a long time? Yes. Here's the best way to clarify that. So if your question is who gave it to me, the best way to clarify that is just have him get tested. If he has the same strain that you have, chances are he passed it to you, right? Now, how do you tell him this? I recommend, so go back and watch my first video that I did. It's my story of how I got herpes. It's episode 0 or episode 1. Go back and watch that. I talk about me, how I was diagnosed and all that. What I recommend is the sooner the better. And the sooner you tell your partner that he or she you believe gave you herpes, then the easier it is going to be for that partner and you to heal together. Because what you don't want is how, if you process something new, whatever the news is, right? Good news, bad news, happy news, whatever it is. You've processed it, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and you've gone through all these levels of healing, suffering, crying, anger, pain, all these things, right? So you've already gone through it, and then you're going to tell someone, week 2 or month 2 or whatever, and you've already gone through all these cycles. If you tell them right when you're going through it, the both of you can cope together and go through this, and it adds a layer of empathy, right? And it can really help and strengthen your relationship. So I just recommend tell them, get out there and say, this is what's going on. Let's talk. So this is also a really heavy topic. I'll use this opportunity to let you know, if you have more questions on this, reach out to me. Join our support group. We talk about this all the time, so join it, come over, go to lifewithherpes.com. This is such a hot topic. I know it's scary, it's fearful, and it's all these emotions of did he give it to me? That's what I was scared about when I was first diagnosed. I'm like, oh my gosh, did this person give it to me? What is going on? So come join our support group, lifewithherpes.com. All right. Next question. I have HSV1, but it's on my vagina, and I'm so confused. Okay, so great question, because I get this a lot as well. I'm going to change wrists here. My hands are getting tired. Okay, great question. So HSV1 and HSV2 are both herpes. HSV1 is typically known as oral herpes, and HSV2 is typically known as genital herpes. However, that does not mean, I'm trying to get the light so you can, is that better? However, that does not mean that if you have HSV1, it does not mean it's oral. And if you have HSV2, it does not mean it's genital. It means the virus is going to go wherever you gave it a pathway to go. So if somebody kissed you with HSV1, then chances are you'll get it HSV1 on your mouth. If somebody kissed you with HSV2 on their mouth and you're positive for HSV2, it's probably going to be HSV2 on your mouth. So vice versa, if you have HSV1 orally and you have oral sex with your partner, then your partner will potentially receive HSV1 genitally. So if you're positive for HSV1 and you have it in your genital region, then you have genital herpes HSV1. So that's kind of how that goes. So just to clarify that with you, I would ask you to, or ask your partner, or just pay attention. Do you get outbreaks on your mouth as well? Do you get them only in your genital region? Where do you get them? And just because it's genital herpes does not mean that it's HSV2. It could also be HSV1. So does that answer your questions? Yeah. Any other questions, you guys? Anything else popping up? Any other questions for me? and all that, I would love to answer them while I'm here. I've gone through everything that I have here, just checking in to see if you guys have any questions. No? Okay, so I have been super on the road these last couple weeks, so it's been really hard for me to make this all pretty and all that, but I try to get the background as fun as exciting. I'm in San Diego right now, so I hope you're enjoying my little view here on the golf course. There's no one golfing anymore. Anyways, okay, I will see you all next week. I will be back in Las Vegas, so I will see you there. I can't wait to see you. If you have any questions, feel free to submit them, respond to this. How long can it lay in the body? Great, thanks for asking. Okay, how can it lay dormant in the body? Is that what you're asking? Or how long can it show up? So the typical incubation time, most common, most likely, is 2 days to 14 days. How long could I have had it? Okay, so the incubation period, just general, is 2 days to 14 days. So about anywhere between, initial contact and two weeks is typically when people get it. However, we don't know how long it can lie dormant in your body. What may have happened is you may have got an initial outbreak that was really small. Really, really, if you have sores internally, is spotting normal? Okay, I'll answer your question in a second. So if you have, what was that? So what could have happened is you could have had your initial outbreak, and it could have been really minimal, and it could have been something that you didn't even think of, right? It could have been like, oh, I had this little cut, but I totally felt fine, or oh, it was just an ingrown hair, or maybe it was, like for me personally, hope this is not TMI, but I get them right on my asshole. I don't know a better way to say it. My, the hole, I guess. So right there. And a lot of times, and I know I have to really think about it, is it an outbreak or is it just a tear, right? Because you can tear, when you have your poo. So perhaps that's where you have them, and it was just like, oh, obviously it's just a tear from a poo or something like that. That it could have been a really, really small, mild outbreak, and then boom, your body, it waits and waits and waits, and then boom, it pops up. So that could have been something that happened. The way is, we don't know, never TMI, yes. We just don't know how long it lied dormant in your body. There's really no way to know. The only way to know is if you could go back to your partners and narrow it down to, okay, you have it. I slept with you 6 months ago, 6 years ago, whatever it is. That would be the only way that you could really, really totally scientifically narrow it down. So I know that doesn't help answer your question, but you most likely could have had a small outbreak. So for example, when people are like, I just tested positive for herpes and I've never had an outbreak, what it means is you just never noticed it. You had some form. Physically, your body had to have some outbreak because the antibodies showed up. Otherwise, it wouldn't be an outbreak. Does that kind of you wouldn't test positive in your blood. Does that kind of make sense? But yeah, we don't really have a way to know unless, I guess, you went back to your partners. Okay, the next question was, and I need to see, yeah, guys totally don't get tested. I know, so annoying. Ew, I know, it's so annoying. Guys don't do it. We're on top of it. And I'm not saying all guys. I know that as a lot of men get older and more mature and get, later on in their years, they're totally on top of it, and they're totally, awesome about using condoms and protection and communication. But I think a lot of times when we're younger, especially in college and those years, we're definitely not, we're invincible, and we don't think it'll ever happen to us. So yeah, totally. Okay, the last question someone asked me, and I'm sorry, I'm on my phone and I'm trying to find your question oh, the spotting. Okay. When I get itchy, which is probably an outbreak for me, oops. Thank you. So basically you get you get itchy, you get spotting, is that an outbreak? You know what? I do not believe so. Spotting it has nothing, so that's with your period, and your period would have nothing to do with herpes, meaning it's not going to cause an outbreak. An outbreak isn't going to throw off your period cycle. I would say those are two different things. Something for you to look at is potentially looking at your hormones. Do you have, are your hormones estrogen, progesterone? I'm not sure which one causes the spotting, but some of them cause spotting. So maybe next time you get your physical, get that checked. Also, do you have an IUD? A lot of times an IUD will cause spotting. I've had an IUD for years, and every now and then I'll get a little bit of spotting when I have an IUD. Maybe that's it. Yep, that's totally it. I have an IUD. Sometimes I'll get spotting right when I ovulate. I'll get just a little bit. Or if my period's over, sometimes like the next day when we have sex, there's a little bit of spotting. Yeah, okay, good. So yeah, all of us have IUDs. I love them, don't you? They're the best. They're like a godsend. Thank goodness, right? I don't have to take a pill every day. But yes, it's probably just your period. It has nothing to do with an outbreak. However, the outbreak can occur. So the period has nothing to do with an outbreak. However, an outbreak can have something to do with a period. So a lot of times our hormones are like this. We're more sensitive. We can get a little bit run down when we get our periods. I know I get a little run down the day before my period. I have to take it easy. I can get, love IUDs. I can get an outbreak on my period. In fact, that's probably the most common time for me personally to get an outbreak. So just watch that. Watch your body. Try to pay attention. But you're on the antiviral pill now. All right, then you're fine. Yeah, if you're on the daily antiviral, it'll totally suppress it. You might get one outbreak a year, one outbreak every 4 years, but it'll totally suppress it. All right, guys, I loved being here with you. Thanks for chiming in, hanging out, and I can't wait to see you all next week. All right, I'll see you all soon. Go to lifewithherpes.com. If you're not a member, join the Slack group. It is like hundreds of people just like you and me who have herpes. There's a lot going on. All right, you too. Have a great day wherever you guys are. Like I said, I'm in San Diego right now. It's beautiful. This is my backyard, so it's a beautiful afternoon. All right, Jen, thanks so much. See you guys later, and yay. No, you guys are awesome. I love being here with you in the trenches, dealing with it, learning, growing, all of that. All right, my friends, I'll see you all soon, and have a great weekend. It's the weekend already. All right, I never know how to turn this off. I do this every time. Okay. End.